It sounds like science fiction, placing a microchip under the skin to get you in your door, to start your car, or maybe give your doctor your medical history.
Or what if your child were to disappear? Would you be willing to place a chip in your child?
A new high-tech office building is open to welcome startups and established companies like Google and Microsoft. But there's one key thing about the technology of the building, and that is that people who work here can be chipped to gain entry to the building and various services. I've just been chipped myself. It's not a painless process, but it doesn't last too long, not too difficult. Minor surgical procedure, which basically involves a little chip the size of, I suppose, of a grain of rice being inserted under your skin.
Her office, Epicenter in Stockholm, connects big corporations like Microsoft with fast-growing companies. And for the first time in a workplace, all 700 employees here have been given the chance to use the technology to become more efficient.
So if you hold the phone against my chip, you will get my contact details.
Look, that's you.
To think something so small can connect you to everything that matters.
When your life and all you love
are on the line.
HealthLink is always with you when every second counts in the emergency room, providing immediate access to your medical records.
Because Bob has trouble remembering all his medications.
Because I'm in love with my kids' kids.
Because my car lost control while driving.
Because now I'm looking out for both of us.
Because I have diabetes, but it doesn't have me.
Because I spend my life in the ER trying to save yours.
So first, you can see that the key is in the off position, and turn on the engine run switch, which also activates the RFID reader. And right now, it turns over, but it doesn't start. But the RFID reader antenna is here. So when I authenticate, the bike powers up.
Excuse me, sir. Forgot your receipt.
Checkout lines. Who needs them?
Have a nice day.
This is the future of e-business.
The one I wish you would revisit more is RFID. Now I know that, does Carrie still have the RFID tag in her arm?
Dude, the RFID thing.
Yeah, why did you not?
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
It's not going to happen. Discovered. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. I'm not sure how much of the story I'm allowed to tell, but I'll tell you what I know. We were going to do RFID, and on several levels, you know, how hackable, how reliable, how trackable, et cetera, et cetera. And one of our researchers called up Texas Instruments, and they arranged a conference call between, I think, Tori and the head producer over there for the other team, Linda Wolkovich, and one of the technicians at Texas Instruments. They were supposed to have a conference call to talk about the technology on like Tuesday at 10 a.m. And Tuesday at 10 a.m., Linda and Tori get on the phone, and Texas Instruments comes on, along with Chief Legal Counsel for American Express, Visa, Discover, and everybody else. I mean, and I got chills just as I described it. They were way, way outgunned. And they absolutely made it really clear to Discovery that they were not going to air this episode talking about how hackable this stuff was. And Discovery backed way down, being a large corporation who depends upon the revenue of the advertisers.
And what he did is he founded a company and they started making electronic tattoos. So I'm wearing one here on my arm.
Do we have a camera to get a...
This is a developmental system made by MC10, and it has an antenna and some sensors embedded in it. And what we plan to do is work with them to advance a tattoo that could be used for authentication. Now, it may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents.
Now, the fingerprints and eye scans of every person in India are being gathered in the biggest biometric database in the world. More than 1.2 billion people's data will be on the system, which will give access to the welfare state. But opponents argue the scheme could be exploited by the Indian government.
Getting a mug shot and your fingerprints taken usually means you've been up to no good. In Israel, though, it's being used to combat ID fraud. But not everyone's happy that the government's planning to hold biometric info in every citizen.
Well, Google wants to get rid of passwords. Instead of using typical methods for accessing your email or accounts, typical meaning typing in a password, Google Glass now wants to move into the future by using biometrics, including fingerprints and eye scans. Google has filed a patent for head-mounted displays that could scan a wearer's fingerprints, eyeballs, veins, and voice pattern.
In your money this morning, Apple's new mobile payment system, Apple Pay, rolls out today. You can now leave your cash and credit cards at home if you have Apple's latest iPhone 6 or newer versions of Apple's iPads.
Our Amber Watson is live at the 24-hour Walgreens in Miamisburg. And Amber, this is one of the places accepting Apple Pay. How does this whole thing work?
That's right. Well, several stores have signed on to Apple Pay, including here at Walgreens, also McDonald's, Macy's, and Staples. And Apple says using your phone for payments could actually protect you against hackers. Now, this is how it all works. You put your credit card information and the iPhone's Passbook app, and then you use your phone's fingerprint scanner, and you hold your phone up to the register. Now, the reader scans it, and then you're good to go.
Ever since the beginning of time, people have been buying and selling and using whatever currency was available. But today's digital economy is changing faster than ever, and currency has to change too. It is. Introducing MintChip from the Royal Canadian Mint, the evolution of currency. Money, as we know it, is fine for today, but tomorrow is a different story. Imagine a whole new breed of transactions that are smaller, faster, and virtually everywhere. That's where MintChip comes in. MintChip is currency in a digital form. Using a chip, you securely load value onto a smartphone, USB device, computer, tablet, or cloud. Maybe even some future device that doesn't even exist yet.
Let us dance among the stars. Let us carve our names on Mars. Seeing that we hold the key. We are electricity. We are more than meets the eye.
He's leaving every man in the pack behind. What a show of dominance!
Allegations of doping continue.
What has happened to sports? Should the record still count?
Today, we celebrate the first draft of the Human Book of Life.
It's been called the age of wearable technology.
Amazing things happen when we merge technology with our body.
We will set the technological foundation for an enhanced human experience, and we will end disability.
How does that sound? It sounds good.
In our pursuit of progress,
If we undermine the morals that define us, what good is our beloved progress then?
The court declared discrimination against modified persons unconstitutional.